Hello everybody, welcome to the first video podcast of the Michael and Lyle show. I'm Michael Dazen and
I'm Lyle Dilly. I am the co-owner of Desert Sea Design, and I have a interdisciplinary arts degree from Arizona State University.
I happen to have the same degree as him. We graduated the same year and we both work for Desert Sea Design. I'm a designer and video producer here.
Yeah, and I do everything else. I have 10 years in the design, video, web, and graphic business, and been doing design and magazines and journalism stuff for...
Going back into military years.
Yeah, we wanted to talk about video blogs and people using webcams and stuff, and some of the really simple issues we think people could fix. Research for this, that a lot of the video blogs have a lot of lighting issues, a lot of issues that you can't see the people who they're recording, you can't really tell anything about it, and there's two reasons for that. One is that they're not properly lighted, you can't see the front of their face, and two, that they don't have any kind of white balance. White balance is a little harder because only certain cameras and certain things can use white balance, but white balance basically means that the color, that the white is always white and all the other colors kind of fall into that spectrum once you get the one color white.
It creates a real natural look. So what the eye sees, as opposed to, because video cameras, they pick up color temperatures, and so let's say if the sun's setting, you're going to get an orange. So you want a white balance, or you can also compensate for that by, I don't know if you knew this, but filters, like a bluish filter. I know an 85 is the red. So if it's too blue out, you throw on the 85, and then I think it's an 80 or an 82. That's the blue. For like if it's sunset, yeah, you put the blue filter over it, and then those two equally balance each other out, and then you have that natural look that the human eye can see. You know,
when I was doing theater for the longest time, to balance out a lot of the light that you see on stage, you actually use filters like blue and red. And when you combine those together, I don't know if you know that, if you combine blue and red, it actually turns into a kind of a soft white under certain lighting conditions, and it actually a really nice soft white light.
And you just throw that over the lights? Just throw that little... Okay.
Yeah, so it's a really kind of interesting thing that a lot of people don't know about as far as light's concerned. When it comes to white balance, though, if you're unsure about your thing, especially if you're using a web camera, the easiest way to tell of what spectrum your thing is going into is you can actually hold up a white piece of paper.
Anything white.
Anything white. Now, if you look at the piece of paper and it doesn't look white like you're suddenly seeing in front of you, then say it looks blue or it looks orange, then it's not properly light balanced. Another way, especially most cameras have auto white balance, if you let more light into the room, it actually better corrects for the light. So if you have a lot of fluorescence or you have a lot of things into the room, and you let more natural light or lighting into the room, you'll find that it'll actually start balancing out the color even more.
So again, we're talking about if you want to do a video blog, certain production elements that can make you a little better than your competition, I guess. Lighting. We just talked about lighting and color temperature. You don't want to be the one. You don't want to be the person who's talking about your favorite thing, whatever it is. You're talking about dogs, and then your color is orangish, red, and then it just kind of pulls away. That's the reason for making good quality, neutral and balanced images. So it's natural and it feels right, because you want your audience to connect with you. Feel like they're right there with you and having this conversation with you. But if there's any way that they should be pulled back, same with feature films, narrative stories, anything that pulls the audience out, you lost them. So that's an epic fail, basically. So yeah, we just covered the lighting, and then another thing is audio. First thing about audio, you don't ever really want to use, I guess we're doing it right now, but because we have limited resources, we can get away with it. You never really want to use in-camera audio. Yes, video cameras and DSLR cameras have audio recording with them. It's just not the best. It might sound, my voice right now might sound roomy because we're in a room with not a lot of stuff in it. So you'll get echoes. And plus, if you cut from, let's say you're right next to the subject, and then you cut and you're far away, that jump cut you'll see that audio change. He'll be close and then far away. So that will be another pull away.
Well, one interesting thing about audio, especially when you see web cameras, most of the audio that you hear are directly from that, and to a certain extent it's not a big deal unless there's other distracting things in the background. Where it becomes a real issue is you use a real camera, one that actually uses tape, because if you use from your audio, I learned this when we were doing Arizona State University. I didn't realize this, is a lot of the kind of fuzzy, and sometimes you'll hear a thing clicking and stuff like that. And that actually has to do with the video camera itself. You're actually hearing the turning of the actual tape as it's going around and around. So most people who use those will actually have that separate audio source so they don't hear the clicking. If you want to, hear my voice, right now we're using two cameras, one that's focused on me and one that's focused on Mike, right? The audio from Mike's camera, which is right next to me,
will pick up Lyle better.
Yeah.
It seems. So this is the way we're doing it. So, it kind of works. Hopefully the two cameras, hopefully these two mics won't be too different when we go back and forth.
But we might actually sync the audio, where actually you put that camera into left channel and the other camera in the right channel. I'd be really interested.
Or we can just use one camera. Let's say if, I'm not sure what Lyle's camera is. It's a Canon...
Power Shot.
Okay, and then I got the Canon EOS 60D.
Yeah, the Power Shot S515.
Okay. Yeah. So if the camera that's on me picks up the audio a lot better than that one, we'll probably just use mine.
Yep.
Yeah, just to keep it consistent. So if you're not going to use the in-camera audio, what are you going to use? Friend of mine and other people that I work with, I don't have it personally, but the H4n Zoom recorder, I think is what it's called. That is like the perfect device. It runs I think it's 400 or something like that. But there are older versions that are a little cheaper that can do just as good. They have the XLR, inputs, and they have all the storage space. I think you just pop in an SD card, and then it reads it like that. And then you can hook up a shotgun mic into that. Anything. Just that'll be your recording device, and it's it's small, handheld, and you can do a lot with that. And another thing, let's say you don't have that, but let's say you have a computer, and let's say you have an audio recorder on your laptop. What I've done before when doing an interview was, alright, I had the camera on the subject, and then right out of frame, so right maybe down here, I would have a chair, and then my laptop open, and then I had GarageBand was my recorder. And I just, opened a track, vocals, and then pushed record, and then it fit quite nicely.
Huh, that's right. Yeah. That's actually really cool. That's a neat idea to use that.
Yeah, so that way, because when you look at bad or listen to bad audio, it's a lot of the high pitch, like tss, there's that tss, and whatever that is. Right now, you can probably hear the computer that's running. Then good thing there's no AC, and good thing our window's not open. All that, where you shoot, that's also important.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So we're having our nice little Desert Sea Design office space that we can use, nice ambient light from the big window.
Yeah, so perfect natural light with some fluorescence. It doesn't seem to cause too much of a clash.
Yeah, we're balancing it so that there's actually light above us and a light to the side of us, so it can balance out our faces. And
then we get this backlighting that everybody looks good in backlighting. So just to make ourselves look a little better than we actually are.
Mm-hmm. Well, we need to wrap this up soon. What you currently working on right now?
Currently, I'm working on this massive project. It's a feature film. I'm editing it. I'm not directing or anything like that. Working on. There's 35 scenes or something like that. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say what it's called, but you know, I can't say too much about it, but you know, there's 35 scenes. You know, it's a feature, and each scene, you know, takes, you know, at least 6 hours, 6 to 10 hours on, like, you know, a decent sized scene, because there's so much video. And then when you get into like multiple cameras, so let's say there are 3 cameras, like you got to watch all that video, and you know, it's just really time consuming. But you know, it's fun to see, you know, that put together, especially somebody else's project, you know, that they've directed. And then another thing I'm planning is a music video for an artist. His name is Jay Breeze. He hasn't really gotten out there a whole lot yet, and that should be done in like a month. So I'm hoping we can cover that and, you know, go through, you know, in these video blogs. I did shoot another music video, so this one in June it will be the next one I shoot. That'll be my second one. So hopefully in another video blog I can show you what I've done previously, show you some of the footage, and talk about the process. And I think that'll be cool. And then
Sounds good.
Probably also take you through my process as I prepare for this this other video. And those are the 2 main things I'm working on right now.
All right.
Lyle, any art projects for you?
Well, right now I'm actually working on a veteran art project currently, where I'm actually building a giant map of Iraq using soldiers. Now you're in my frame.
This is what he's talking about, right?
Okay, yeah, a massive art project that I'm using toy soldiers, and eventually it's become the entire map of Iraq. I went to Iraq a couple times, and I've seen a certain amount, and I wanted to do a little bit more tribute. When I was at Arizona State University, I did a huge memorial to Iraqi war veterans and their families, which went over pretty well, and I want to take it to another level as far as some of my art and whatnot concerned. Here at Desert City Design, though, I've spent the last week or 2, and I need a little bit more, doing all the research and putting everything I know for search engine optimizations to be offered for Desert City Design, so that we could give that to our customers and increase their rankings, which I know a lot of people are interested in, whether it's video or just their regular website. So look for that more on DesertCityDesign.com in the next couple weeks.
All right, so that wraps up our first episode, and hope to see you next week.
Thanks.